Welcome to Tyler's Yarns. You're listening to an official vintage podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Tyler's Yarns. So we decided to get an intro, which is pretty funny. We just use the TikTok voice. But yeah, I reckon that's pretty funny. That's going to be our new intro for now until we figure out what we want.
A little funny.
Yeah, a little
Maybe
bit
change it.
A little bit funny. We're not too sure. But today's episode, we're going to be going through trends in the market, in vintage and just normal fashion. But yeah, we'll sort of just got a few questions we wrote down and we're going to just go through them.
So we got the first question I have for you. These are all pretty much directed at you as well. In the last 10 years, what styles have you seen come in and out of fashion? Like vintage fashion and normal fashion?
Yeah, in the last probably 5 years, I've probably known like decent fashion for probably like the last 7 to 8 years when I really sort of got into like, I don't know, like vintage and that sort of stuff. But probably...
But what styles have you seen come in and out?
With vintage specifically, always styles that are coming in and out are like Harley Davidson tees, like Harley Davidsons are probably the main one that comes in and out all the time.
Sports teams got pretty big.
Yeah, that's only just got big recently though.
Last year, Disney was pretty big.
Oh yeah, everyone was on that Disney buzz last year. So I think every sort of item has their like stint, but like Harleys have been probably the staple in 80s, 90s vintage, I reckon.
Yeah. Do you think, do you remember when the Guess shirts were coming out?
Oh yeah. I think because Sean Witherspoon was wearing them. I think he had all the big contracts and he like pretty much just like boosted up the market and everyone was wearing those sort of like the 90s Guess stripes. So they literally just came in for like a few months.
Yeah, but now you can't get them anywhere really.
Oh, you can. I just don't think they're that popular. Like when we get them, they're definitely a lot harder to sell now than what they used to be, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember heaps of like whenever you'd go to like a party or something, everyone would have like those striped Guess.
Yeah, and then they started remaking them though as well. Like all the new Guess started remaking them and now it's sort of like... It was super frowned upon actually in Australia now that people were wearing the Guess stripes because they're like the same sort of people that would wear like full on ripped jeans.
Those like with the elastic tracksuit pants.
Yeah, like with the elastic. If you guys know what we're talking about. But
yeah.
There's all those memes and stuff on TikTok that is going around, which is pretty funny.
Or it's like if you wear these,
Oh, you're a fuckboy or something, you know?
Yeah. We did get an Instagram question about that the other day as well. When you said you asked on Instagram, Harleys or sports team.
We put that up asking, but the majority was sports team. Yeah. At the end of it all.
Yeah, and someone said that like it's the same thing is happening with sports team a little bit. Yeah. Where like heaps of people are getting on the sports team and it's kind of leaving Harleys behind a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And like I think now probably like sports team's going to stay around for a long time. Yeah. And then going into now like Nike's always been massive. Yeah. I think Nike and Harleys have probably been like hand in hand, I reckon. Yeah. Like with everything that's sort of like gone on like in the last sort of like 10 years, you know.
Yeah, like, I agree.
They've been sort of like stable items because everyone like loves Nike regardless, and then everyone also likes Harleys just because the fit and the designs of the Harleys are dope.
I think the good thing about the sports team, like having all that variety, is what people like about it.
Yeah, well, like I think there's a lot more. It's just like Harleys. Harleys have like 20 different, like I don't know, let's say thousands of designs. Sorry, not 20 different designs. Yeah, but they have like thousands of designs. But like also sports team. You don't really double up on tees that much. Yeah. Like, obviously, how we do things is like not too many doubles we see. Yeah. Which is, I reckon, like probably a massive reason. But like, I reckon why things trend is because there's a lot of stuff in circulation. Yeah. So like, say we have a lot of sea sweaters or we have a lot of horse sweaters and there's a lot of them coming to the market. I think then that pushes a trend.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I agree. I think...
But that's, I reckon, how the sports team trend sort of came along. Yeah. You know? It's because there's a lot of sports team and college stuff and basketball stuff.
But even just getting all the sports team stuff is making me want... Like, I'm getting a bit into NFL
Yeah, you decided to pick a team.
Yeah, I'm going for New England.
Yeah, nice.
New England
I don't
Patriots.
even have a team. I just go for like what's the coolest design, to be honest.
We're going for the Super Bowl this year.
Go to the Super Bowl party. Official vintage Super Bowl party. Always a good time. Everyone's pissed out by 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that is a good time. What's sticking to the trends? What's a style you want to like stick around and like in vintage? And is there a particular era you wished you lived in, like the 70s, 80s?
So probably like I'm loving at the moment the trend is like baggy stuff, like how big baggy is. I always wear like double XL t-shirts, and then like baggy jeans are coming in.
Yeah,
I definitely want that to stay, but I don't know how that's all going to happen in the next few years because I'm not too sure what's going to be going on.
Yeah,
like,
but would you like? Do you think what you're wearing now is something that you would wear forever or no?
I'd want to, yeah. I reckon I love the style at the moment just because I reckon every sort of trend, so like Y2K, 90s and 80s are all being combined into this like style that we have at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're just picking all the best bits from all the like early 2000s, 90s and 80s, and we're putting it into one sort of style that everyone's like sort of wearing now, which is dope, I reckon. But I don't know sure if it's sustainable, you know. Hopefully it is because it's the best style, I reckon.
I agree. I think people are, like right now have got the best of everything. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
I actually think that vintage kind of stops now kind of thing.
What do you mean?
Well, shirts nowadays aren't made.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this is kind of it for vintage.
Yeah. Well, like, I think there's early 2000s. Like, we've still got up to, like, probably 2013 of vintage stuff, really.
And people are still making some, like, really good quality stuff. It's just not, like, the big companies that are doing it.
Yeah, like Nike and stuff. The T-shirts don't last very much.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think looking back when we're a lot older and stuff and, like, looking at the stuff that we're wearing now, I think you'd be pretty happy compared to like in the early 2000s or like whatever in the early 2000s when it was like Von Dutch and stuff, and like Von Zipper hats and shit like that. And like you look at the photos back then, you're like regrets, you know.
Yeah, but I think they look cool.
No, because they're the full like snapbacks and shit, man.
I like that.
Like full snapbacks, like all the Chad ass hats, like new era hats, like at the start, you know.
Yeah, but they were cool back then.
Then.
It was like if
they
you...
and then they had all like the old, like the dragon glasses and shit like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but they're cool, man.
No, fuck off.
All the cool kids were wearing those.
Way. But then they're all wearing like that with like board shorts.
Yeah.
And then like a Billabong top or something. But it was like a chat Billabong top.
Those like skateboarding shoes.
Yeah, with the DCs as well.
They're like
the DCs are coming back in, I reckon.
No.
Yeah, that's what they reckon. The DCs are in the skate stores and shit again.
Yeah, but they're too big.
Chunky. That's what I mean. All the baggy stuff's coming in, so chunkier shoes are coming in as well.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I think.
Even for girls, like those jeans that are like tied around the waist, but then super baggy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nah, not it.
You serious?
Yeah.
I reckon they're dope.
No.
Yeah.
But then it's going to get to a point where everything's like too baggy.
No, but they would have just, because that's what we want to start doing is we want to start tapering jeans and stuff. Like have.
No, I'm not talking about like tapering jeans. Like.
No, because that's how they do it, I think. Like you taper the jeans, like because the waist is a lot. Like say you have a 36 waist or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you taper it into like whatever 20, 26 or whatever 28.
Yeah.
And then the length's still the same, you know.
I think what you're talking about, they're doing the same thing with like tight waist and then like just rolled up ankles.
Oh yeah.
But some people have the like straight leg jean.
Yeah, not the straight leg's not a vibe, but
yeah.
I think we're on the different pages. But I reckon like that sort of style is cool at the moment.
Is that the era you would live in?
The era I'd live in? The era I'd live in probably be 90s. Just because they wore all baggy shit. Baggy pants, baggy T-shirts.
But then in the 90s as well, there was a point where everyone was wearing like saggy pants.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, saggy pants, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. Like even if you watch like old skate videos, they're like their pants are falling down.
But that's what they reckon they're gonna like, or the way the trend's going at the moment, because people are starting to buy those DCs, and they're also starting to buy those
big ass pants,
because they're good big boys. The pants, and I'm gonna get a pair soon, I reckon.
No,
of the big boys.
No, I reckon the next style. I reckon
that'd be dope with like dunks, obviously dunks and stuff. So you just get big boys and they wear dunks.
Yeah, I don't agree, but you're the fashion icon between the two of us. What's the next big fashion trend in vintage and in general you think that's going to happen?
Next big fashion trend.
Can I tell you what I think first?
Yeah, sure.
Even though you've kind of given your answer, but
what did I answer?
Like 90s. Like you're saying that the 90s stuff is coming in.
No, but they're not like maybe specifically will be better. Like what's your specific on it, you reckon?
I think it's going to be like 80s is going to come back in where it's like small t-shirts, like super tight t-shirts tucked into jeans, like jean washed.
Yeah, I reckon you could be right as well. Like maybe for like
with like high socks, rolled up jeans, and like I don't know what shoes.
Yeah, I reckon you could be right.
Maybe even dunks.
Yeah, but they could already be doing that because the tops are so tight and everyone's wearing those like singlets or whatever. Like that could be the same thing.
Wife beaters.
The wife beaters, both like dudes and chicks.
I think that's the next trend.
What is like tighter stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that could
tight.
be. Yeah, it could be because it's already happening now. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's like
just tucked in jeans with like 80s tee, because 80s tees like that are XL is still like skin tight.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that's going to be the next vintage trend.
Yeah, hopefully. Because we've got a lot of them, so.
What do you think's the next?
We're just holding them for the trend.
Yeah. we were in before everyone else. Yeah. What do you think the next general trend is? Is that what you think? Same as me or no?
Yeah, for like a whole, I agree with you. But I think for like a specific item that's going to trend next rather than like an 80s item.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, say, like a sports team or something like that. Like, say, for that specific item, I reckon it'd be Nike sports teams hitting at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just coming in. Like,
I feel like that's never going to go away, the Nike sports team, because it's
but I don't think it's like even coming. Like, people like it.
Yeah.
But there's like not much in like circulation at the moment.
We have heaps.
Yeah.
Check out our Fisher Vintage.
FisherVintage.com. Plug.
Yeah. No, I reckon that will come in specifically. Yeah. You're probably right.
Yeah. But then like long term, it's probably like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like probably like 80s, but that's like probably years, maybe 2 or 3 years away.
You reckon?
Yeah. Depends. Like it just takes one famous person to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, oh, fuck, that's dope. And then they're just like, everyone starts getting on the trend.
Well, I don't know if it does take one famous person because...
Well, they all just like start talking and then they're like, oh, yeah, it's a cool trend.
Yeah. Probably I reckon if Justin Bieber did it, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
I feel like he sets a lot of trends.
Yeah, like even like the pills at the moment coming in.
Yeah.
Shout out Grace Kelly store.
What are they?
It's Grace's a jewelry business, Shell Pearls. That's where I get all my pearls from. Make sure you go on.
Oh, that's the smiley face pearl thing?
I got the smiley face ones and I just got like the normal choker.
I want to get the smiley face ones.
Mm.
I might get one before Christmas.
Yeah.
We didn't do a good thing that happened to you this week.
Oh, yeah. We actually got to make a segment. Segments. This is the segment.
Intro.
Good thing that happened to me this week is we got up to date. Everything's getting ready for the Black Friday sale. We're like on track for everything to be like organized and everything to be running.
I'm crushing it this week.
Because that's the biggest weekend probably for the store. That and Boxing Day.
Yeah, Black Friday.
Two biggest weekends for us. So
all hands on deck.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much like we're going to be. I don't want to.
Don't spoil it yet because it's gone. We'll do it next week's episode.
Yeah, we'll talk to you more about
the sale,
the Boxing Day sale, because that's probably the biggest in-store day of the year.
Yeah, that will be Very exciting. That was good. Something good that happened to me. This is not work related, but I just booked a trip to Fiji.
Yeah.
So I'm going on holiday.
Do you have to quarantine?
No, I'm double vaxxed.
Do you still have to quarantine when you come in? Oh, for Fiji it isn't it?
We have a bubble for Fiji.
Yeah, that's right. And like Asia and stuff. Definitely want to go overseas soon.
Yeah, that's my good thing that happened to me this week.
Positive. It's only Tuesday. Oh, Wednesday. Yeah. So we're winning this week already.
Winning. Have you ever been interested in starting your own brand away from the vintage scene?
Yeah, so lockdown last year, we started our own brand, Made, but we've just been like way too...
What's it called?
Made times official vintage.
Yeah.
But it's just Made by itself. But yeah, we've just been way too flat out to do stuff. But I think like coming to summer, we've got a lot more t-shirt designs coming out and shit.
A lot more. We have like 5.
Yeah, 5 t-shirt designs. So just like getting it all ready. It's a lot harder than it looks.
I think if you were doing it by itself.
Yeah, it would be so much easier. But it's just like now we're like November is probably our biggest month for sales. Yeah. So it's just like making sure we're all on track rather than having time to put aside to do that as well.
Yeah. What direction do you think you're going to go with Made?
Definitely like vintage inspired stuff will be cool. I see a lot of like brands doing it at the moment.
Yeah.
Like that are trying to do it, but like we're looking at like vintage stuff every single day, so we can just sort of like pick and choose the best bits of vintage and then be like, oh, that'd be cool one there, and like,
yeah, and all ethically made.
All ethically made in Australia. But yeah, so it's just like getting that moving because
a future vintage item made.
Future vintage item because it will actually last you your whole life. We've got like hopefully 5 t-shirt designs. We've already got black and white at the moment, but we just need to grow that brand pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it'll just be like growing the brand like we grew this.
Like
it's just like different like marketing strategies rather than like, you know what I mean? Like they're 2 completely different things, whereas like vintage is like one off, so we got to be showing people like all the product, you know?
Yeah. It is hard going from showing everyone everything to like focusing on like 5 items.
Yeah. And like sneak peeks and just like marketing gets a lot more harder.
Yeah.
And like making sure content's coming out for like YouTube and stuff for that sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you think vintage fashion specifically, like what you specialize in, 80s, 90s, will ever like stop being sold? Or do you think this type of vintage will continue for the rest of our life?
No, I reckon it'll continue for like ages, like until like it runs out somehow. But like we were talking last week, we were saying like how everything's sort of recycled back into the op shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If people keep doing that, there's always going to be
vintage
around. And there's a lot more vintage coming into Australia. So a lot more stuff will be going into the op shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's a circle of life, you know, circle of the clothing life.
We got like 3 questions from Instagram. I thought we'd pull like 3 questions every week.
Yeah.
Just to get the people involved. So if you have any questions, feel free to message us on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll start saying other names from next week as well, I reckon. Like we'll
want your name.
Yeah, if you want, just let us know if you want your name in there or not. But I think from next week we'll just be like, oh yeah, like Josh, was this question or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have the names this week. Sorry. Someone asked, what's your favorite type of vintage?
Yeah, so probably my favorite type of vintage, we were talking about it before, is the Nike sports team. I'm loving all that Nike.
That's your favorite out of all type of vintage?
At the moment, it is, yeah. I'm just liking the fits of the tees, liking the designs, and just like miscellaneous stuff like the thing I'm wearing at the moment. Just like a bit different.
Any specific tags that you're in, like that you're loving at the moment?
Tags? Nah. Just all the common ones at the moment, like nothing.
We did a YouTube video on like some tags as well.
Yeah. We should do a guide on like what my favorite fit of tee is, or like the different types of fit, because we could be like, oh yeah, that Brockham's like a long or short fit. You know what I mean? Or like the the fruit of the loom's like a narrow fit. Always like narrow fitting tees, which is like,
or like Lee.
So annoying.
Lee is normally pretty boxy. Isn't it?
Lee's boxy, but like the fruit of the loom's always like narrow as fuck. So we could do like a guide when we're doing like because we're gonna start sectioning it off. So we'll do like a guide into like fruit of the loom, Brockham, and that sort of stuff, and and data, because we're gonna just curate enough so we can do it.
Yeah, I reckon we should do that for.
And then we just go through like the sort of fits at that sort of time. I reckon could be a cool way to do it. Yeah,
no, I think that will be a cool way. Just to the next question, can you open up a store in the US? So many questions.
Yeah, that was from when we were asking where we should open up our next store.
Yeah, we got a few questions like Europe and then US.
Because we wanted to get a gauge in like what was the most sort of popular place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a whole bunch of people from the US saying,
It was almost more than the people from Australia.
Yeah.
It was like a crazy amount.
Yeah, I think it's like a 5-year plan. I'd probably be in the 5-year plan. Like definitely want to like dominate this section first, I reckon.
For sure.
Like this area. Yeah.
Any stores anywhere else next year?
Next year there is, but
we can't tell you. It's a secret.
The double secret.
Secret of doom. And then last question. This is like a big question. What's it like owning official vintage? Big question.
Stressful. Probably one word to describe it. Nah, super stressful. But we're at a point now where it's like nice and it's like we're learning
a lot
new stuff. You know what I mean? Like the whole job role's changed now. So like we're not doing sort of like the operation stuff anymore. Yeah. So we're doing more of like this and like sort of just problem solving pretty much. Yeah. Which is all good. Like people solving. People solving. Yeah, that was problem solving and people solving together. Yeah.
But what's it like? Do you like, is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. Super fun. Get to look at clothes all day.
Yeah. Are you doing what you love, Tyler?
Always doing what I love.
That's good to hear. Anything else?
Wake up every day and it's not a chore, you know? Yeah. Like going to when I was working as a lifeguard, it was fucking.
I thought you were going to say when I was working as a life coach. I was like,
I'll be a life coach soon. No.
You reckon?
Nah. When I was working as a lifeguard, I just like dread it because you'd stand in front of like a pool for 5 to 10 hours. It's just like
brain numbing. Yeah. That's good. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. So you want to do the outro? Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked our first ever intro. Yeah. After 6 episodes deep. 6 episodes or 5?
5 is our
5 episodes deep. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.